So, Mr. Cooper, you've got 6 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Minister. For years, CSIS has publicly warned that Beijing is threatening Canada's national security and intellectual property in 5 sensitive areas of research and development. Despite these warnings, your government, including through granting councils that fall under your purview as minister, have funded research partnerships with Beijing in the 5 sensitive areas identified by CSIS, as well as with scientists connected to Beijing's military and intelligence apparatuses. Canadians deserve to know how many such projects have been funded by your government.
I would say, Mr. Cooper, first of all, it's nice to see you again, sir. You seem to be following me from committee to committee. So it's a pleasure to see you. I would say, just for Canadians who are watching, I just want to say it's a bit rich to look at our government for that. You will recall that we're the first government starting in 2018 to really look at research security. You know, our work started in 2018 to really
Minister, with respect, I asked you very specifically how many projects have been funded, just a number. Please.
Well, I will tell you how many projects have not been funded. You can see...
That wasn't the question. The question was how many projects
I'm providing an answer
funded.
to you. So I can tell you since we implemented the enhanced security protocol, I would say the guidelines that have been put in place have been making sure that we protect the national security of Canadian institutions.
Minister,
and I will
since you
say,
won't answer, since you will not answer my question.
Mr. Turnbull?
I totally respect Mr. Cooper's time, and I understand, but cutting the witness off when they're trying to answer his question is not abiding by, I think, the normal informal ways in which we operate in this committee. I would just ask you, Chair, if you wouldn't mind maybe reminding Mr. Cooper of how we operate here.
Thanks, Mr. Turnbull, and to the Minister and Mr. Cooper, if we can get the questions and answers in a timely fashion so we can continue on. I've paused you, and you've got 4 minutes and 9 seconds.
Waiting for an answer. How many projects have been funded?
I would say I'm happy to defer to the official if you want the exact number of projects, but what I can say to you, Mr. Cooper, is that protecting Canadian research is a top priority. What I was explaining to you and Canadians who are watching at home today is that since 2018 we have taken a number of measures, and I would say we are the first government to be taking steps to make sure that we have research security in Canada.
You didn't answer a straightforward question, and frankly, if this is such a priority for you and then your government, why is it that weeks ago we learned that there have been new patent applications published listed Huawei as an owner with Canadian university researchers as inventors? In other words, Canadian universities are still very actively in collaboration with the likes of Huawei, despite the fact that 5G is identified as one of the 5 areas of sensitive research. Minister, obviously your guidelines that you cite are not working.
Well, I would say with respect, sir, I'm the one who issued the directive to the market not to have Huawei and ZTE in telecommunication in Canada. So you're talking to the guy who made it happen. So you're not talking to some random person. You're talking to the person who made it happen in Canada. What I can tell you, and since June 2021, there's been no federal grant to Huawei. And what we did, Mr. Cooper, which I think Canadians need to understand, we set the tone, because since then, you will have seen, because I know you're a well-informed member of Parliament, that a number of universities, but just for the record, as they're watching today, the University of Toronto, the University of Waterloo, McMaster University, Queen's University, University of British Columbia, and Western University have all adhered to our principle and stop any collaboration with Huawei. That's part of the public record.
You have the power as minister to issue a ministerial directive banning federal granting councils from funding research partnerships with Beijing in the 5 sensitive research areas identified by CSIS. Why have you failed to do that?
Well, I would say, sir, we've done more than that. We have issued guidelines to make sure that our program, sir, but if you want an answer, sir, I appreciate
guidelines.
If I can just, Mr. Cooper,
in my answer, because you asked me a question. If you want me to answer, sir, I'm more than happy. That's why I appear here.
If we could direct the questions and answers through the chair, as we said at the beginning, so that we don't get back into this back and forth and talking over each other, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Minister, guidelines that have resulted in ongoing collaboration between universities and Huawei, despite the fact that 5G is identified as one of the sensitive research areas, guidelines that have resulted in ongoing collaboration with Beijing's National University of Defense Technology, which has been blacklisted in the U.S. since 2015 because it was deemed by the U.S. to be a national security risk. And you're saying here before this committee that your guidelines are working. Minister, are you serious?
More than serious, sir. I made sure that they would work. Like I said, for the record, sir, and you should look at the facts. Since June 2021, there's been no federal grant. But one thing you need to know, but just take a moment. We're not at question period here. Just take a moment to listen to my answer. What I'm saying to you, sir, with respect, is that not only we did that, but you have to appreciate that we set the tone, and now we've seen universities and provinces acting again, because my role as the federal minister is to set the principle. And I would challenge you that in the Five Eyes, sirs, we are among the best when it comes to that, because we actually work with our Five Eyes partner
I would submit
to put
your
these
guidelines
lists.
are working very well for Beijing. They're not working well when it comes to protecting Canada's national security interests.
Sir, I would say with respect, I think the number of experts in the field would disagree with your assessment, but I respect your view, sir. And I can tell you my mission and my commitment to Canadians. And I have been on the record, sir, to be the minister who have denied a number of acquisitions that the government or entity related to the Chinese government were to make in Canada. I'm the one who defended our national security by making sure that there would be no Huawei and ZTE equipment in Canada's telecom infrastructure and 5G. Sir, you're looking at the person in front of you has made sure that we would protect national security at every step of the way.
Okay, thank you very much.